leaving now.
Lucy, my sweet.
I cleaned out the tiger cage and sorted all the meal bins. So, if it's all right, it's my turn to fix dinner.
Haven't you forgotten something, little one? Just one little thing.
Mr. Runser, please.
It's been a very long day.
I don't want to.
Now, Lucy, I thought we'd settled this last week. Don't let's forget who pays your salary. We're closed. Come back tomorrow. Wait! I haven't finished with you. I told you we're closed.
We're not here to buy, little man. We've come to sell.
You can't possibly have anything to interest me. These are extremely rare animals of the highest quality.
What a coincidence. So am I. That is the price for humility.
Oh, please, don't.
And what else might we interest you in today, sir? Perhaps some virtue?
Not my animals, please. I'm begging you.
But what of honor, little man? At what price? Honor.
Oh my God, no! That tiger is the rarest specimen ever seen.
Tiger, tiger, burning bright. The forest of the night.
VR 61661, report to precinct headquarters, code 3, repeat code 3.
I was just finishing up my 12 out on patrol when I got the call. Welcome relief, considering that the most action I'd seen all night was a schizoid grandmother doing the shimmy in her underwear in the second sector.
VR 61661, report to division headquarters, code 3, repeat code 3.
Last time I had a 3 was when some hooker vomited Thunderbird on Bryant's desk, and yours truly led the cleanup crew. Year and a half on the job, it was still the dirtiest work I'd seen. Where's Captain Bryant?
Took a sick day. Got himself a heinous case of ptomaine poisoning. He asked me personally to run the unit in his absence.
Gouza was one of the old-time guys who took their knocks in the streets. He had a friendly way about him, but you didn't want to turn your back on him if you were less than a friend.
Hope you've been enjoying your leisure time, kid, because it's time to take that thumb out of your ass.
Hallelujah.
Don't get too excited. The other Blade Runners are all jammed up. Holden's sucking dinner through a straw. Gaff's working the Tyrell break-in, and Steele's working special undercover. Looks like you got this one by default.
You really know how to make a girl feel wanted.
Animal murder done at Runciter Zoological. Probably just be a schizoid glitz, but we got the call. Old man Runciter lost something like 1 billion chinions worth.
10 to 1, this ain't a job for Rep Detect.
You got something better to do? Perfect your French cooking, maybe?
Slumming tonight, Slim?
I thought you were on special assignment.
Wasn't too damn special after I had the suckers out.
What happened?
Couple of fours were masquerading as fibroplast insulators down at Kaiser. I dressed up like a nurse, they never had a chance.
I'll bet. You put them on the machine?
Hell no. There's a beautiful little thing in here called the magic, and it ain't ever been wrong. You develop it, you got a brilliant career ahead of you.
I'm working on it.
What's Gouza got you doing tonight?
AM at Runciter's.
Animal murder. Oh, those skin jobs got no respect for anything that truly lives and breathes. And that goddamn Eldon Tyrell ought to be zipped into a body bag and flushed into deep space.
Get rid of him, we'd be out of a job.
I think we're all overdue for a little off-world paid vacation. You can stop staring at my ass now.
You got eyes in the back of your head?
All you gotta do is ask, Slim.
Animal sales was a profitable and prestigious business since most real animals had died out after the Terran War. There were plenty of electric ones, though, powered by rechargeable batteries. No self-respecting human would own one of those frauds.
Đồ ăn ở đó rất là ngon.
Judging from the distance between the prints, I was looking for two very big men. One dragged his right foot, indicating a possible injury or lameness. The other appeared a lot more controlled, graceful even. Quite a pair. It didn't add up. Animal murders, the lack of any theft, the small animals alone were worth a good chunk of change on the street. It seemed more like an act of vengeance. What do you know?
About 30 counts of animal murder and one of aggravated assault.
Canvass the area. Maybe somebody had his eyes open.
I'm on it.
Đồ ăn ở đó rất là ngon.
Nothing even remotely interesting, but hell, if I was going to root through trash, my expectations weren't too high.
Hỏi cái chỗ cảnh sát ở đâu ạ? Tôi rất mong á, anh làm nhanh.
About 30 counts of animal murder and one of aggravated assault.
Judging from the distance between the prints, I was looking for two very big men. One dragged his right foot, indicating a possible injury or lameness. The other appeared a lot more controlled, graceful even. Quite a pair.
Xin hỏi cái chỗ cảnh sát ở đâu ạ?
McCoy, LPD.
I'm absolutely certain Lucy Devlin was involved in this heinous act. She's the young girl who works for me.
She's responsible for all this mayhem?
No, of course not. It was two men acting in concert with her, obviously.
Obviously. What'd they look like?
Big and scary and absolutely malevolent. My precious one. She was my baby. I'm ruined, totally ruined.
Can you think of anything they might have been after?
First I thought they wanted money, but I don't keep any in the shop. Then I thought they wanted to steal my animals, but they started executing them.
Could they have been replicants?
Who else would be capable of such barbaric acts?
You ever do any business with the replicant manufacturers, Tyrell Corporation?
I resent that accusation.
Just wondering.
Officer, last May I personally sold Governor Colvig an exquisite Bergeron colt. I have been a guest at his house on 3 separate occasions. Do I look like I need to carry artificial product? My precious one. She was my baby.
Tell me about this Lucy.
There's not a lot I can tell you. She's only worked for me for a short while. She's about 14 years old with pink hair, A very attractive young thing.
How'd you find her?
She came to me with a reference from Ogilvy's in the Northwest Zone. And he's a very reputable wholesaler.
You treat her well?
As well as any young tot should be treated.
She got a desk? Or someplace where she worked?
She used to eat over there. I'm ruined.
A toy dog.
Howie Lee's in Chinatown. I'd eaten there myself.
Well, isn't that cute? A candy bar.
Yuck.
My precious one. She was my baby. My precious one. She was my baby. My precious one. She was my baby.
See if you can dig up that reference from Ogilvy's.
Yes, it's somewhere here. Just a moment. Here you are.
Stick around. I may not be finished with you. Find anything else out here?
This woman says she saw that kid who worked for Runciter hanging around with a big fat guy last week.
Find anything else out here?
This guy lives across the street. Says he heard a crash late last night. Looked out his window and saw a black sedan speeding away from the scene.
Find anything else out here?
Zilcho. Row actions inside. Abstract art. All over the walls and ceiling.
I never did appreciate art.
My precious one. She was...
Howie Lee's in Chinatown.
She came to me with a reference from Ogilvy's.
This woman says she saw that kid who worked. This guy lives across...
I'm absolutely certain there's not a lot I can tell you. She's only worked for me for a short while. She's about 14 years old with pink hair. A very attractive young thing.
Tôi rất mong á, anh mang nàng nhanh. Mấy giờ tôi phải tới đó đó.
Real sushi was a luxury reserved only for the elite, since most sea life had become radioactive after the Third Terran War. The rest of us had to eat new sushi, soya mixed with off-world lichen. McCoy, LPD. I want to ask you a couple of questions.
Sorry, my man. I just don't got the time.
Beautiful night, isn't it?
When business thriving, night always beautiful.
Hey, big guy.
Busy. No time for talk.
McCoy, itazura suru na. You want something, you talk to me.
Sorry, Howie.
Got to mix more out back.
This from your place, isn't it?
Could be. Chopstick come from Yoshi's restaurant supply.
How long has that chef worked for you?
Zubin? Just month. Superior chef. Makes all kinds of new sushi.
What's real fresh tonight?
Special shipment of Toro just arrived. I fix you right up. No one else. Clean as a whistle.
You're Prince, Howie. See you later, Howie. Howie says you're a master chef.
You not come back here. Air bad.
This'll only take a minute. I'm looking for a girl, about 14 years old with pink hair. You seen her?
I don't know her.
Yuck. Locked. 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 Totally uninteresting. Totally uninteresting. A big guy run past here?
Hey, maybe spare some chinion?
Sorry, pal. All I got are hundreds.
Hey, that'd work.
Hey, Pop. Nothing even remotely interesting, but hell, if I was going to root through trash, my expectations weren't too high. See you later, Howie. Are you taking any drugs? Nothing even remotely interesting, but hell, if I was going to root through trash, my expectations weren't too high. How long is that chef? Locked. Locked.
Rumor has it you've been earning your stripes, McCoy.
Working on it.
Keep it up. You just might have a future in this business.
I understand it's got a hell of a retirement plan.
You VK the mark before retirement?
Didn't have to.
That's why they call it the magic.
I'm starting to understand.
You ever retire a human, your career is over. Remember that. I checked with UN Air. Looks your rep swung that moonbus massacre last month.
They ever find the moon bus?
Disappeared into thin air. Brian thinks it crashed out in the Kipple.
How many reps we talking about?
Enough. They're Nexus 6s, so don't take too much slack.
Gotcha. Yuck. Yuck.
Your floor number, please.
Roof. Apartments.
McCoy, 88F.
88. Thank you.
I lived with the best gal I'd ever seen. She was 2 now and full of life and love. She'd cost me about a year's salary, but she was worth it. It was good to have someone warm nearby after completing a dirty job, and the retirement swag from this case would go toward getting her a partner. Here you go, baby. Dinner time. Zubin was the first Nexus 6 I'd come up against. There was something in his eyes, an almost primordial desire to live. Most of the 3s, 4s, and 5s I'd seen would just give up when you had them. But these 6s, they were a whole other breed. No messages. I'm in demand.
Violent street crime in the city rose again last year by a whopping 26%, according to the latest figure.
Your floor number, please.
Ground floor. Apartments. Roof. Laboratory. Mainframe and shooting range. Ground floor. Lockup. Mainframe and shooting range. Laboratory. Roof.
Got anything new for me, Dino?
I was wondering when you'd show your mug around here, McCoy. We got the animal corpses from Runcitus, but there wasn't a whole lot to work with.
Bone marrow?
About 50% were real, the rest were fakes.
So, Runciter was ripping his customers off.
State-of-the-art fakes. Miles beyond the crap you see on Animoid Row.
The kind that comes from legit manufacturers?
They're the ones that usually produce the quality.
What about the wounds?
Most of them were shot point blank, but we're looking at some others. Sloppy cuts with a knife, like the perp was really pissed off at something.
Butcher knife?
Could be, but who cuts meat anymore?
Nice bunch of reps I'm tailing. Hope you're not pulling a meat cleaver out of my back next week. Anything else?
Zip, man. Try me later.
Violent street crime in the city rose again last year by a whopping 26%, according to the latest.
Well, if it ain't Ray McCoy! Bryant finally letting you play with the big boys.
My clearance come through?
You bet. You bring your piece?
Don't leave home without it.
Steele's been running the maze every other day for 2 weeks, and the targets are getting a little roughed up.
I thought Gouza was going to requisition some new ones.
I ain't seen him down here in a month. Guess he's been busy.
Poor guy. I bet he gets all tuckered out from pushing those papers around.
And don't sell him short, McCoy. Gouza could be one tough hombre. I remember when we worked mice together. He poured acetone on 2 pimps that gave us some lip and lit a match. I'll tell you, it looked like the goddamn 4th of July out there.
Peachy. You keeping busy, pal?
Nah, the place has been pretty quiet the last couple of days.
Uploading personal clue database. Downloading mainframe clue database. Clue database transfer complete. Uploading personal clue database. Downloading mainframe clue database. Clue database transfer complete.
I checked with UN Air. Looks your rep swung that moonbus massacre last month.
They ever find the moon bus?
Disappeared into thin air. Brian thinks it crashed out in the Kipple.
Judging from the distance between the prints, I was looking for 2 very big men. One dragged his right foot, indicating a possible injury or lameness. The other appeared a lot more controlled, graceful even. Quite a pair.
This is Crystal Steel badge number BR61354, conducting the interrogation of Spencer Gregorian, leader of CARS, Citizens Against Replicant Slavery, November 22nd, 2019.
I once again asked that my attorney...
Shut it, shitbird. I'm asking the questions. We've already put you on the machine, so we know you're not a skin job.
That term offends me.
Okay, so you're not one of those biomechanical scumbags, and you claim to not know anything about the bombing at Tyrell.
This is true. We advocate equal rights under the law for replicants. We have nothing against Tyrell Corporation for creating them.
That's some sick logic.
The replicants are living organisms, whether people like you like it or not. Replicants contribute greatly to the economic well-being of our culture. They cannot be discounted as such.
Hell, it'd be no skin off my nose if each and every one of them was hosed down for good. You ever see this guy?
Why, yes. Actually, I have. He was present at the protest. He's not part of our group, but outsiders are usually welcome.
How many new faces showed up that day?
Not too many. A handful at most.
Describe them to me.
I don't know if I can.
Oh no? Recording off. Describe them for me again.
There was that Rastafarian fellow, and one of our ex-members showed up.
Who's that?
A Japanese man named Izo.
Why'd you get rid of him?
We're a pacifist organization, and we have rules. One of them is no weapons allowed. Izo refused to check in a samurai sword at the door during meetings.
Where can I find this Izo?
He owns one of those little secondhand stores downtown.
Let me ask you a question. Who the hell bankrolls your operation?
Well, we have a number of anonymous donors, people with resources and sources.
Such as?
So anonymous, even I don't know who they are.
I almost believe you.
Most of them were shot point blank, but we're looking at some others. Sloppy cuts with a knife, like the perp was really pissed off at something.
This is Crystal Steel, badge number BR61354. Still working the explosion at the Tyrell manufacturing plant. It'll take a day or so to analyze the debris, but there's no doubt in my mind that we're dealing with a bomber here. Right now, it looks like the protesters had nothing to do with it. They were in too close proximity to have been in on the deal. No MOs or identities are rolling up just yet, and I'm still going through the inset files to see if any replicant munitions experts are unaccounted.
Most of them were shot point blank, but we're looking at... Most of them were shot point blank, but we're...
Judging from the distance between the prints, I was looking for
đồ ăn ở đó rất là ngon.
Bà đến mà.
Tôi rất mong á, anh đang làm nhanh.
Find anything else out here?
Zilcho. Row actions inside. Abstract art. All over the walls and ceiling.
Tôi rất mong á, anh đang làm nhanh.
Stick around. I may not be finished with you.
Xin hỏi cái chỗ cảnh sát ở đâu ạ?
See you later, Howie. Totally uninteresting. Locked. Locked. Chinatown. I'd eaten there myself.
Does this badge mean anything to you?
McCoy,
88F.
88. Thank you.
Good doggy.
Laboratory. Ground floor. Lockup.
Tyrell's plant.
I already told that other detective everything. Under duress. I was astounded when I heard he was supplying weapons to some of them.
What kind of weapons?
Guns so new that even the police had hardly used them, I heard.
I got some more questions for you. Lot of people involved in your cause? Spent?
Growing fast. As more and more people realize that replicants have cognitive and emotional legitimacy, the Citizens Against Replicant Slavery will spearhead the movement towards...
Save the pitch for someone who gives...
Centuries ago, humans were held in slavery. Brave souls formed an under...
How much?
Couple hundred Chinian. Enough to buy a sandwich or two. We gotta hold back the rest until the lab does the autopsy. Paperwork, you know. Shouldn't take more than a couple of days.
So, the check's in the mail.
Hey, don't worry. Just be wanting more and more.
Bryant go on permanent leave and you get full use of the office, Lieutenant?
You know the
Uploading personal clue database. Downloading mainframe clue database. Clue database
Else?
Zip, man. Try me later.
Your floor number, please.
McCoy, 88F.
88. Thank you.
Is this what the gravity be like on Mars?
Oh, no. It's about a third of what we got here on Terra. Real comfy. How about turning that dial, okay? Wagner kick lately. He never shuts up.
You also do outside work?
Sweetie, I never go outside. It's bad for the glands.
How about Nexus 6? You know a lot about them?
Talk to Dr. Tyrell.
Tell me something I don't know.
The organ designers. Miraji, Hannibal Chu, Luther...
One miserable package, man.
No! No, please, don't!
Pick up.
Hope you aren't camped out there with a bottle of tequila.
Oh, very funny.
Early bird slays the worm, McCoy.
Don't worry. I'm up, Lieutenant. What's the buzz?
One of Tyrell's employees got his fat face splattered all over the marble interior of the Tyrell building. Sweet little break on it. Tyrell's surveillance system recorded the whole shebang.
Beautiful. How many perps?
Just one. I don't know if it's related to the Runciter deal or not. Tyrell Security will have the disc for you when you get there. You'll be good, killer.
McCoy, LPD.
Just a minute.
Where do I go?
Ground test on the east wing, 66th floor. Here's the footage from the security cameras. You get a pretty good look. Intended to be a delivery man. Dr. Eisenduller ordered in a lot, so it didn't seem unusual.
I may have more questions for you later on.
Yes, sir.
Thing.
I've told you everything I know, Detective. I gotta work. These monitors don't watch themselves.
Yeah, it's a tough gig. Someone had tried to access a bunch of protected files on the Tyrell network and failed, not just once, but a dozen times. Tyrell engineers might forget their passwords, but what would the GravLab boy... A takeout box from Kingston Kitchens. I'd seen more dead animals than live ones in the last 24 hours, and now it was... Obviously, he'd been killed with an explosive, and not just because he'd been... dead animals than live ones in the last 24 hours, and now it was dogs. 3 of them. I thought about Maggie and nearly threw up.
This cop who was up here, the babe with the shades and the cigarettes.
Ain't her style. Call her babe to her face, you're liable to end up with a severe limp. You spot anything you think I ought to know about, tell me.
Absolutely.
How long is that shit? Kingston Kitchens. Where have I heard that before?
One of Tyrell's employees got his fat face splattered all over the marble interior of the Tyrell building. Tyrell's surveillance system recorded the whole shebang.
Someone had tried to access a bunch of protected files on the Tyrell network. The detonator wire I pulled out of his skull told the whole story. The killer was an expert. The charge had been big enough. The earring was shaped like an insect. I didn't know much about jewelry, but... working with a partner.
Oh, in a pig's ass, Slim. No, I'm following up on my own. Could be it's linked to this Tyrell debacle.
How's yours connected to mine?
I'm still fitting the pieces together. You know the moon bus massacre that went down last month?
Gaff mentioned something about it.
The rogue skin jobs probably flew to Earth. And one of them is a demolitions expert, similar MO to your Vic upstairs.
Hell of a coincidence.
I'll call you if I find out anything more about your case.
You friendly with Eisendaler?
Most of the employees I see coming in morning and night, but old Marcus, Dr. Eisendaler, he almost never left his lab.
He afraid of somebody?
I think it had something to do with the air outside, and the germs. I once heard him complain about it.
Smart. What was his job?
Grub test chief engineer. The lab runs tests to see how a replicant would perform. Engineers could tell you more.
You know if anyone lost an earring like this one lately?
Not one of the employees, that's for sure. The boss enforces a strict dress code around here.
How did Eisendaler's moo-moo fit in?
Hey, you know, company rules only apply to the lesser mortals.
How do I get in to see the big boss?
You don't, unless he wants to see you.
Okay.
Well, you could call his personal assistant.
Who is?
Don't know offhand.
Yeah, I get the picture. You know anything about Tyrell's computer system?
Security is tight as a drum, if that's what you're asking.
Somebody tried to access restricted data from the terminal in Dr. Eisendaler's office.
But they couldn't get in.
Yeah. Looks like Dr. Tyrell keeps his files safer than he keeps his employees. I may have more questions for you later on.
Yes, sir.